What is your gender?
My gender? I'm a mechanic.
Mechanic.
Huh? Welcome back to TheChowTimePod. It's your host, Red. I got a video today from NG Fire. Woke people making fool of themselves for 15 minutes. I thought this might be enjoyable for us. Please subscribe down below. I really appreciate that. Let's do that. Ciao. It's chow time.
Okay, quickly, so I misunderstand. Are we saying that 2 plus 2, if you say it's 4, that's racist? I mean, that sounds like we may be mischaracterizing it. What, if you can quickly sum it up?
No, that's not mischaracterizing it at all. Math is basically racist under this ideology because it says there is no such thing as an objective reality. So 4 might not be the right number. 2 plus 2 might actually equal 5.
Okay, welcome back to another video. Before we get into the main part of the video, I'm going to show you this clip here. And this guy basically exposes the whole trans movement for what it is. So we'll watch that and then we'll get into the main part of the video.
Okay, I don't think the trans movement is about safeguarding people's ability to express their gender. I think it was brought forth as a social issue for politicians to get behind, and now it's used as a wedge issue to weed out ideologically non-compliant people. To that end, I think it deliberately empowers the most emotional, dogmatic people, like those going after J.K. Rowling and Dave Chappelle. I mean, we all know there's a distinction to be had, but many of us pretend like there's not because we've been told that there's not, and that the right thing to say is that there's no distinction. It reminds me of Orwell's 1984, where he's being tortured and repeatedly asked how many fingers are being held up, and ultimately the right answer is whatever the state says there is. Many accept these terms because it's the path of least resistance set forth by the people who own and run the megaphones, who dictate what does and does not make a good person, as well as a loyal army of shock troops who will effectively come after you and your reputation both off and on Twitter if you step out of line. The solution always seems to be to control language and grant the ruling class more control.
I think, true. Holy.
It's like watching chimps argue at a zoo. Wow, what a great comparison. It actually was. Anyway, before we go any further, I'm going to warn you guys, it gets worse, so prepare yourself.
I don't understand what is so hard about correcting other people when they misgender others.
I just don't care.
It takes you like 2 seconds.
What a waste of time.
But you know what it takes for me to have to constantly do that?
I'm sure you're gonna tell me.
A lot of f***ing unnecessary emotional labor that I already have to take on a daily basis just to f***ing exist and be who I am. But you don't have the energy to speak up and say something on my behalf?
Oh, I don't think I have the strength.
And I just have to keep white-knuckling this?
Unfortunate.
White knuckling this? For real? People misgendering you and you having to correct them is you white knuckling it, huh? I don't think she understands what white knuckling it means.
Yes.
Don't even think about the gender thing for 1 second, right? It basically comes down to this. They literally think the world revolves around them, but it doesn't. It's kind of like narcissistic. So you want to be a guy? That's fine. You can be a guy. But remember this. Rule number 1 for being a dude. We don't cry over stupid shit.
Hello, Mr. Peliev. A number of your own comments and actions have been characterized as dog whistling to the far right.
By who?
By a number of
By
different,
who?
but I think it's been
By
characterized
who?
by that way. But
By
are
who?
you trying to
Sir,
court? Are you trying to court the far right?
Sorry,
vote?
I just need to clarify. By who?
By a number of different experts and a number of
who are
different
the
people
experts?
who work
Who are the
work in
experts?
this. Okay, well, I think
All
it's
right.
been established that
Right.
this is a concern.
it's
Are you
not-
trying to court the far right vote?
Who are these experts? You say that there are experts who are saying this. Who are they?
My question is, are you trying to
Just
court
making
the
shit
far
up.
right vote?
I'm sorry. Your question seems to be based on a false premise. You can't even tell me who these experts are. It sounds like it's just a CBC smear job. Thank you. Next
But what
question.
about?
Up until yesterday, I worked at Blunt Pretzels.
Please don't go.
I asked the general manager to stand up for trans rights and against our genocide, and he laughed in my face.
Genocide? You know, my country went through genocide. We killed our own people. That's how much of a, like 80% of our people got eliminated by our own people. that's somewhat of a genocide. It's probably not as bad as the Holocaust, I agree. But it was, to me, in my own culture, just as bad as the Holocaust. You cannot compare what transgender are going through here as something as bad as a genocide. That's so ridiculous.
That's like a cool guy.
The owner, his father is a Nazi.
Sure, Jan.
His son is the general manager. I have spent nearly a year expending so much emotional labor trying to make sure that I'm safe.
I'm in danger!
Including having 3-hour conversations with the general manager about why rape isn't funny.
Maybe we shouldn't talk about this.
He has sat there and watched the owner be transphobic to me. He also watched and supported while he paid me less than everybody else.
Never gets old.
If you are in the Asheville area or Buncombe County, do not support blunt pretzels if you support trans people.
Thanks for the tip.
Hold on a minute. Standing up against your genocide, really? You really just said that, didn't you? That is such an insult to people who have actually experienced genocide. Like, these people are so delusional. Then she goes on to say they're Nazis. Well, what I've come to learn is when these people throw that word around, what they normally mean is, oh, they've hurt my precious feelings. Oh no, they have a different view to me. So yeah, that word doesn't mean anything anymore. So yeah, anyway, let's check this out. I am one of the managers at Blunt Pretzels. We didn't hire you to be an emotional therapist. You were always lazy. So thanks for showing the world who you really are so they don't make the mistake of hiring you like we once did. We won't make the same mistake twice. Good luck. So yeah, you pretty much exposed yourself there, didn't you? You're lazy, you're not doing enough work, and then you complained about all of that, and also that you're getting paid less. Well, you just admitted to sitting there for 3 hours with the manager complaining about a load of BS. So that's probably why you got paid less, because you wasn't as productive. And then you got fired, and then you tried to play the victim and blame everyone else.
Hey, God bless you, miss. We love you. Sorry you're angry, breaking our sign.
Yeah, I'm taking it.
All right, cool. I'll follow you. I'll come with you. God bless you. Thank you very much for coming out and talking with us. We love you.
Yep.
Grateful for you. Thank you so much.
What are you going to do with that video?
Just God bless you. Thankful for you. And just hope really...
Shut up.
I'm not saying I'm I enjoy these people out there doing all these things with, religious and telling people they're going to hell and stuff, but they have a right to do it. There's no need to be, messing with people and stuff.
Thank you so much for all that here, for being a wonderful citizen out here.
Hey, girl. Let go of me. Get the fuck away from me.
I'm sorry you're so angry, but we love you. God bless you, man.
Fuck you.
Sorry you're so angry.
Yeah, I did right.
But that right there is someone who has never suffered real consequences for their actions, going around thinking they can just do what they want with no repercussions.
So let me ask you a question. What is cheating?
I can pull up a dictionary definition.
No, like give an example. Maybe taking something from somebody.
This gentleman was just on the whatever pod. I actually really enjoy his views on a lot of things.
Or a strong person, maybe using their power against the weak.
Sure. Somebody using their power against the weak.
Got it. Okay. Is Leah Thomas or William Thomas biologically stronger than the competitors that she was against?
Probably, because she is number one.
Won the national title.
Yes.
Okay.
Won
well,
the national title.
after the transition, right? Okay. Is that fair?
Yes.
So the other women against the man were born with less bone density, lower testosterone levels. What are they supposed to do to make it even?
I would not know on that specific situation.
Right, so there's nothing they can do because men have more testosterone, muscle mass, and bone density. So wouldn't that be cheating?
I feel like I'm being pulled into a trap, and I'm gonna step away.
Well, no, it's not a trap.
Yeah, run away, run away.
They really think the truth is the trap. It's a trap to actually believe what we tell you when it's the truth. Like they've been brainwashed so much to think the other way. Anything that reels against it is just, I need an adult.
Way back into your little bubble because you're getting confronted by the truth. You feel like you're being pulled into a trap. No, you're not. You're just getting faced with the truth. I mean, since when has critical thinking been a trap. Translation, yeah, my little fairy tale bubble is being threatened by reality, so I'm gonna step away from that now so I don't have to face the facts.
The person who took the banner advertising this event with my face on it and set it on fire on this campus, you shut down the conversation. Do you think that was okay? Do you think it's okay to set banners on fire?
I think people can do whatever they want to do.
So there's no moral right or wrong?
I think people can do whatever they want to do. They can have an abortion, they can 5 people in the night, they can come and listen to your speech, and they can still have questions for you.
And you can set banners on fire?
People can do whatever they want to do.
So do you believe that there's moral right and wrong?
I can say it one more time for the people outside. I can do whatever they want to do.
So she doesn't believe it's moral right or wrong?
Whoever the fucking simp in blue back here needs to stop his clapping. What the fuck?
That's actually a very scary society because there are rights and there are wrongs. And you can't be like, I can do whatever the I want to do, because that's actually a very, very scary situation. Because if I wanted to go out and murder people or commit an act of genocide, I shouldn't have the right to do whatever the I want to do. Next question.
Women who insist on accepting the reality of biological sex are often called hurtful. It can't be hurtful to speak the truth. It just can't be. It's important that women be able to say that women are adult human females.
How dare you?
Without being told that that's hurtful.
I understand why do you say in the same breath that you're open to this conversation when technically you're not open to this conversation because you're still speaking from the space of what the reality is? That's not being open. And I'm not calling you transphobic because I'm not saying that you are. You seem like a nice person who may be open to other people, but that's not what I'm getting from you.
I'm sitting here listening.
Right,
I'm
that's all
being
you're
open.
doing. That's all you're doing.
Well,
because your mind hasn't opened up.
Okay, yeah, these people are open to it. I mean, the woman is sitting there talking to you about it. The problem is you haven't come up with a good argument to back up your side. So no one's gonna believe you until you do that. We're not just gonna believe your fake reality because you want us to, because of how you feel. You need to have a discussion about it and prove it, but you haven't been able to do that. So basically, that's the end of that.
Why are you just
The feelings over facts culture has grown to such a tremendous size. Everybody's, it hurts. You can't tell me that. Or I'm not fat. I'm not ugly. I'm not a 10. Or I am a 10. We just can't even say normal things to people anymore. It's not even just facts or not. It's just, hey, how you doing? Oh, you're looking a little unhealthy. Oh!
destroying private property? That's not cool. You just can't take down other people's ideas because you disagree with the idea of it. If your guys' ideas are so fragile they can never be challenged without you ripping down that, I think that says more about your ideas than his.
She has a point.
Yes.
Posters aren't supposed to be on the lampposts. You need to have permission to place them.
Like how your flyer is on the pole?
Strike two.
So the only free speech that's allowed to happen is yours. Is that what you're saying?
Are you just gonna stand there?
I'm not going to interact with you. If you want interaction, that's not gonna happen. Never been much for confrontation.
But you won't come and ask him a question.
You scared of him? Go put up the fire. Come on.
Just so you can tear them down again?
Yep. There's still plenty up, aren't there?
We're not taking down your flyers. We're not covering up your flyers. I don't know why you feel the need to take ours down.
It's called double standard.
You want to call us fascists. You want to say that we're horrible people because we have different viewpoints than you, but you're the ones taking...
Transgender people tend to have the brain structure that confirms their identity that they identify with. And you can look that up. That's a fact.
I will look that up.
Yeah, it's a fact.
I will look that up and I won't find it.
Yeah.
It's not a fact. It's not a fact.
Should we all pull out Google really quick? Look.
So you're saying a trans man has the brain of a woman?
No. I'm saying that a trans man who identifies as a man will tend to have similar brain structure that a cis man would.
And where did you get that from?
Look it up. It's literally, I'm telling you, I learned it from my anatomy class when I was 16. And I looked up the fact before I walked up here because I knew that you would ask.
Okay. That's not true, but it also doesn't answer the question. So let's try to stay focused on one false claim at a time if we can, because we might get bogged down.
I tried to find the studies that she was on about. I couldn't find anything. Well, I don't know what she was talking about, but somebody obviously did, and they said, for anyone wondering, the studies she references were performed by breaking every rule of the scientific method in order to get a specific outcome and are completely invalid. Well, are we even surprised at this point? Basically, she continued to look until she found what she was looking for, an extremely biased piece of quote-unquote scientific evidence, which is complete bullshit.
That's the thing. I mean, you'll find what you're looking for. You'll find others that have similar opinions to you. That's what the internet is. It doesn't mean that it's the correct opinion or the correct thought process. I'm not saying there is a wrong or correct thought process in general. I'm just saying once you're leading to, you know, something like flat earth type thing or, you know, shit like that, it's a little weird.
And it fit her agenda. So yeah, that pretty much sums these people up. This is an article that I came across. Man is suing the NHS, which is the National Health Service for those of you not in England, over trans surgery he bitterly regrets. It takes him 10 minutes to empty his bladder, a process as painful as it is slow. Any sex drive is long gone. In fact, he says his crotch is numb and shell-shocked from the damage done to him under the apparent care of the NHS. Richie, 35, had thought the answer was to become a woman, but instead he says he was fast-tracked into making the biggest mistake of his life and left infertile with ongoing pain. Not only had the NHS clinic failed to take into account his spiralling mental health crisis, he claims, but it also failed to properly counsel him about the risks. Alright, so that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching if you got this far. If you did like the video, make sure you like, share and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Peace!
I am sick and tired of this and I got to speak on it. Well, speak on it, Prime. I'm glad you said so. Why you got an attitude like life owes you? Kids, you got an attitude like your parents owe you. Relationship, you got an attitude like that person who left you owes you. Life don't owe you nothing.
Nope.
You living, you breathing, you consuming air, you consuming space, and you in time. And you ain't paid for none of that. If truth be told, you owe life. You owe life. You got air, you're breathing, space, time, everything. And you ain't gave back nothing. And I'm gonna tell you about life. Life don't accept checks, credit cards, cash, or sex. Now how you gonna pay for life?
Blood, sweat,
God gave you life, and you ain't giving God nothing. Think about that.
Whew. Woke people. It's funny because I didn't even know what woke was until I got a divorce. That's when I got thrown into the woke world, and I was definitely not woke. Please subscribe down below. I really appreciate that, and I'll catch you guys next time. Ciao.